Morning, how are we?
Oh, we're great. How are you? Hey, Dave.
Yeah, good.
Do you know this morning was talking about goalkeepers and about how they're different animals, and you said they've got no friends. That's not true, is it?
You might not have been listening.
Wow.
No, I've got lots of fishy friends.
See? Oh, you just proved
Dave, this is what I said. Dave, this is what I said. Right? I said, this is how a football team's made up, right? Good players at the back, very good players in midfield, artists up the front, and the lad in the schoolyard that's climbing up the tree, stick him in goals.
Yeah, I'm not saying that to my face, Dino.
I know.
Exactly.
I know.
You need the box, wouldn't you?
David, how good was Aaron Ramsdale at the weekend?
He was brilliant, Laura. He was brilliant. He was the saves that he made were match-winning saves, and he made at least 4 of those in the second half. The one from Salah where it took a deflection was brilliant, and it makes my job on my podcast on Seaman Says. I do a save of the week every week, and that's made my job very easy this week.
Dave, you know the Núñez chance where he's gone through 1v1. From a striker's point of view, right? I'm looking at your legs, thinking, is he still moving across his goal? Because if he does, a toe poke will do him. And Núñez opened his body out. I thought it was a brilliant save with his left arm.
Yeah, because what you got to do there, from a goalkeeping perspective, Dino, is that make the striker make his own mind up. Don't make it up for him. Try and stay as big as possible for as long as possible. You know what it's like. If the goalie doesn't, then you have to make your own mind up. And that split second, Aaron did really well in that save. And he made it look easy.
Yeah.
The save he actually made it look easy, but and then even the one at the end from Kante, the block. It wasn't just a block; it was a block and get it out. So it was. There was at least 4 brilliant saves in there. So
that one you're on about, Dave. I've watched goalkeepers for years and years. The goalie coach is getting them getting up, diving across the other post, getting up. And there was an example where he threw himself. He got up, he got across one side of his goal, and then he just threw himself at Canate. And it makes it all worthwhile in training. All that training you've been doing. I think he'll enjoy that one the best.
Yeah, you do, because normally in match day, we sometimes don't get a great deal to do, so all our training in the week is makes it all the worthwhile when you do get a chance to show what you can do on a match day. The hard part for a goalkeeper is the midweek training. Sometimes you don't even get a sweat on in games.
David, I almost felt like that was 2 points dropped for Arsenal just because of how well they started. I understand it was at Anfield, but I felt really disappointed. I thought, oh God, it's just the roller coaster of the game was crazy. What do you think it means for the title race now?
It opens the title race up a little bit more. I think the only reason that it feels like 2 points drop, Laura, is that the fact that we were 2-0 up. Before the game, you're thinking this is going to be one of our toughest. That one, and then the one at the Etihad. Newcastle might be another question.
Forgot about that.
I don't know. It's so hard because, when I watched the game, I was feeling, wow, Liverpool could have won it, and then we could have won it in the last few minutes as well. A better pass or a better finish from Gabriel. It was end to end, and I think going 2-0 up makes it a little bit more disappointing than what people realise.
Dave, I think Arteta's interview after the game told us a lot. I think he was so pleased that the team turned up. I think the biggest doubt was, will Arsenal's young players turn up today when it matters at Anfield? And they did turn up. I know Liverpool sort of battered them at the end, but they can do that to anybody on their day at Anfield. But at least Arsenal turned up. I know they never got the win and they were 2-0 up, but they didn't freeze.
No, they didn't. They took the game to Liverpool, like you said, which was great to see, especially that first half, in the first 40 minutes. But then even in the second half, you've seen a different side to Arsenal. You've seen a different defensive situations where Arsenal are battling through. Okay, they're not playing as good as what they did the first half, but it's Liverpool at Anfield in front of the Kop. So now it's like, right, let's get everyone together and defend this. Try and defend this lead. And then even when it went to 2-2. They didn't give up. They still had chances to go and win the game, so it's really encouraging what I'm seeing.
I think a lot of people as well are sort of saying, look, it'll all come down to the game at Anfield, the Etihad, which while I understand that, I also think that like you say, Newcastle, even West Ham, like you just don't know. The same as you didn't really know which Liverpool you're going to face last night. You just don't know where the potential banana skins are for this run-in and for Arsenal. Do you think that there's so much made about the fact that this is a young Arsenal side and they haven't been in this situation before, but is there a bit of a beauty sometimes with the naivety of it, because they're not sure what's going to happen? They almost kind of keep going, because I've noticed a real difference in the steeliness of this Arsenal side, the way they react to pressured situations. Yeah,
definitely, Laura. What you get as well with a young team is you don't get any scar tissue, so they just go out and play. We've got a few really experienced pros in there that makes the mix perfect. But, with the youngsters, they just go out and play. They've not lost anything and they haven't won anything yet, so they're just going out there and enjoying themselves. And, a lot of people are expecting Man City to beat Arsenal at the Etihad. And I don't agree with that. I think there might be a little surprise in that game. But there's a few other games that could be a potential banana skin. But, I'm looking forward to it. It's made it a little bit more open, I suppose. But, the way that Arsenal are playing at the moment, we've got a great chance.
Dave, I just want to ask your opinion on Zinchenko, right? And Trent was going into midfield yesterday as Liverpool's right back. Zinchenko does it for Arsenal, and you can see tactically the difference it makes. They get an overload in the middle of the pitch and an extra pass, and they can play round teams. But I was thinking in the back of my mind, what they're going to do if Salah stays out on the right wing when Zinchenko goes in there? Is it going to cost them? And yesterday we seen the evidence where Gabriel ended up in the left back spot when Firmino scores the header. Do you think that is the side of it that you lose out on?
A little bit, Dino, because they're both attacking minded. There's no doubt about it, and they're both brilliant players going forward. Especially with Trent, a lot of his defensive mistakes have come from when he is pushing forward and he's out of position. But with Zinchenko, I feel defensively that he's more adept at doing both jobs. He's still got a defensive head on him. And even the goal that that you're talking about. I know he got nutmegged. And he was still in a defensive role. So he wasn't exactly out of position. It's just that it pulled Gabriel over a little bit. So. Yeah, when I look at both of them defensively, I would take Zinchenko all day long.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.